want to point out that since Elon and Trump admitted to election tampering and that the Democrats won 51-49, Donald Trump is not the president. He literally isn't the elected president. The actual president is literally Kamala Harris.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So day 6 of these riots, and things are obviously not getting any better. Now it's spread to other states. Los Angeles apparently is under curfew tonight. Apparently they were under curfew last night as well, but the most arrests were made last night. So I highly doubt that this curfew is going to be effective in any way whatsoever. I'm actually expecting an even worse night tonight than we had yesterday. So things are not looking good right now. I want to show you guys a quick clip before we get started. Now, despite the fact that it says protesters shooting at law enforcement to the 2025 LA riots, we don't actually see a shot being fired. We do hear things, but I don't think it was actually from that individual. And I can only actually speculate that that was actually an authentic weapon. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to speculate. That way I'm not spreading any false information around here, right? For all we know, it's a water gun. So what does this mean here? This can only mean one of two things. Either this is an American citizen that's actually trying to remove the life of American law enforcement, or it's somebody who's not an American citizen who's doing the exact same thing, trying to remove the life of law enforcement. Either way, this isn't a good thing for the leftist protesters, because if it is an American citizen that's actually trying to fire upon an American citizen who's law enforcement, that means that it's right there. The proof is in the pudding. They are choosing illegal immigrants over their own citizens. They're willing to attempt to take away the life, speculating, again here, YouTube, I'm just speculating. They're willing to take away the life of a law enforcement officer to defend illegal migrants. And as I said, option number 2 would be that it's an illegal migrant firing upon a law enforcement officer, justifying that they shouldn't be here. So things are starting to get ugly, guys. I'm hoping that maybe this is just a one-off, because I haven't actually heard about any violence like this breaking out. Like, I know, yes, it's not safe to throw rocks at people, but there's a big difference when it comes to rocks and bullets. But either way, it's escalating. It's not a good thing, guys. Let's get into it.
Listen up. If you're okay in any way, shape, or form with what ICE is doing right now, you need to get your fucking head checked. Oh, well, they shouldn't have been here illegally in the first place. Bitch, fuck you. Being here illegally is a civil offense. Do you want to be treated like that the next time that you run a red light or jaywalk? They're also doing this to people with legal citizenship status, so what's the explanation there? Oh, but we only care about the criminals. Shut up. No, you don't, because there's a criminal sitting in our White House right now. You don't seem to really care about that. In fact, you suck him off constantly and just make excuses for him nonstop. Also, these people contribute way more to society than half of your fat fucking lazy asses do, okay? And lastly, what is this benefiting you? Deporting all of these people, what is it benefiting you? It can't be anything financial, because it's actually costing our country billions of dollars. It's public information, billions of dollars. So can't be financial. What's the other reason? I also better never see any of you fucking bitches in a Mexican restaurant ever again.
All jokes aside, if somebody doesn't check that motherfucker, soon, I'm talking like in a matter of days, there will be another civil war on American soil. I don't like making posts like this. I don't want to get on here to fearmonger or scare you. I'm just not going to look at all this shit and say, it's fine. If somebody doesn't check the President of the United States, in a matter of days, there will be a civil war.
I shot me in the nuts, and now I'm losing a ball. Surgery is tomorrow. But you know who else only had one ball? Tupac and Hit.
Disrespectfully, if you support ICE or Trump, gargle these fucking nuts. Disrespect. Actually, fuck that. You don't deserve shit. You actually don't deserve any of it at all.
Just so everyone's clear and on the same page, if you voted for Donald Trump in either election, you're a bad person. If you continue to support Trump in his antics while he's currently in office, you're a bad person. If you have a problem with the protests going on in LA right now, with what's going on with ICE, and you're okay with what ICE is doing, you're a bad person. If you find what's going on in Gaza okay and you don't have a problem with it, you're a bad person. It's no longer about politics, it's about human decency and just having basic empathy and morals. It's no longer a gray area.
Yeah, and all these motherfuckers who voted for fucking Trump, and all these motherfuckers that want the immigrants gone, all these motherfuckers, where do they go on vacation? They literally go on vacation to Mexico, Cancun, Colombia, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, all of your little famous white little influencers, your Caucasian friends, they voted for Trump, but they go to vacation on our land. They go take a break from their reality in our reality, in our land where we struggled for a better future. And nobody calls them fucking aliens or terrorists when they're on our land, right? But what do? We welcome them with open arms. Let them explore our land peacefully. They enjoy our beaches, our foods, our traditions. Videotape everything that goes on in our communities, in our country. Like we're exotic fucking animals to them. And yet we're fucking terrorists, aliens, criminals for living on stolen fucking land that isn't even theirs.
You know, it's actually kind of funny here because I'm sure when she filmed this, she thought like, yeah, I'm going to tell them. And she's, of course, just picking on the white people again. But she really thought that she was going to have like this mic drop moment. And I'm sure that she still, in her mind, believes that she did have that mic drop moment. But she actually just kind of proved the case for us because there's a massive difference. I'm pretty sure, guys, you correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm pretty sure that there's a big difference between vacationing somewhere and migrating somewhere. So yes, white folks, they do decide to go down to Mexico and whatnot to go on vacation. That is correct. But it seems like, and I'm not just trying to pick on Mexicans here, that's not what I mean at all. I'm talking about all other countries of the world. It seems like they're not just vacationing to the United States. It seems like they kind of snuck in the back door and got jobs and they don't plan on leaving. So when the white people go out to Mexico on your land, as she wants to call it, they plan on coming back to their home country after. They're out there it's usually 10 to 14 days. And of course, you're not going to call them aliens when they're on your land because you know that they're just there to vacation. You know that they're there for a temporary, short amount of time. And obviously, you're going to welcome them with open arms. That's usually what most vacation hotspots do. I mean, there's a lot of money involved in the travel industry. Just another quick thing to point out here. She's stating how they want to come to our land and they videotape everything. They enjoy our food and whatnot. Yeah, okay, that only makes sense, right? That's usually what people do when they're vacationing. But the truth is, the illegal migrants are doing the exact same thing. I mean, they're enjoying the food over here and they're actually videotaping themselves as well, throwing like rocks at cop cars and putting it on TikTok. And correct me if I'm wrong, nobody ever labeled Mexicans as terrorists, just the cartels in particular. And of course, she wants to bring up the whole stolen land thing. This is like, you know, a point that the liberals really like to bring up a lot. And if that is the case, okay, stolen land out here in the West, Canada and the US. How do you explain any native colonies on other areas of the world? Does that mean that all lands were stolen? How do you explain if anybody actually believes in Pangea when everything was one gigantic continent? Doesn't that mean every single angle of land all across the world then has been stolen? Either way, the liberals are very famous for getting in front of a camera and either virtue signaling or spreading false information, but every now and then you bump into one of these little diamonds in the rough here where they get on and they think that they got you with a big gotcha and a mic drop, and all they really did was just pretty much will explain the situation themselves. There's a massive difference between vacationers and people migrating to other lands.
Over 10% of the population here in Los Angeles is undocumented. These ICE motherfuckers are going stupid right now downtown. If you voted for that orange fuck, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem, bruh. ICE is literally conducting illegal raids, ripping people from their homes, ripping people from their jobs. If these people are criminals, why are y'all coming to them at work? Why are y'all coming to them while they are at work paying taxes? This shit is disgusting, bruh. Disgusting. You got kids who are literally not even sure if they're going to see their parents when they go home. And all because y'all voted for this piece of shit, man. Piece of shit, bro. I'm over it, bruh.
Just want to pop in and say fuck ICE and fuck you for voting for the Oompa Loompa diaper wearing ass motherfucker. So, have the day you deserve.
If you support ICE or Donald Trump, your soul is dog shit, your intellect is dog shit, and your looks are dog shit. And if you get into a conversation with someone like me and you're like, oh, I didn't know, you're dog shit. And so I think the greatest thing you could do right now is get some cinder block slippers and go jump into the lake.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought America was based off of immigrants. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought every single human being that came onto American soil came from a different land. Oh wait, correct me if I'm wrong, if the whole world used to connect each other, called Pangea.
If you support Israel, go yourself. If you support ICE, go yourself. If you support the genocide of the Palestinians, go yourself. If you are a pig apologist, go yourself. If you support tearing families apart, go yourself. I'm sick and tired of these white supremacists acting like they're superior to the whole freaking world. When guess what? We pay you. We pay you to serve and protect, and you cannot do that. We are more powerful than you. And I'm sick and tired of these whites supporting the wrong side. If you support Palestinian resistance and Palestinian liberation, you do not support Kamala. You do not.
No human is illegal on stolen land. If you think what's happening with ICE, because I don't think I can say it on this app without it getting flagged. If you think what's happening with them and what's happening to these families, to these people is okay, and you are a part of that group and you can sleep at night, you are an awful human. This is so heartbreaking. It's so atrocious. It's so inhumane. And if I haven't made it very clear on my pages where I stand, I do not support it. I'm horrified by it. And we should feel so scared, and we should resist, and we should do whatever we can to stop these atrocities from happening. And I know it can feel very easy to feel hopeless and not know what to do. But there are little things we can do, and I just can't believe that there are even humans capable of this. I'm so deeply terrified of how this is going to escalate beyond what has already happened, which is so deeply messed up, so deeply awful and cruel. If you are enjoying my humor, if you are enjoying my content, you are only welcome if you support human rights and human life, because that's what this is about. It doesn't matter anything else but that these are humans.
Okay, to start, let's just address the whole stolen native land thing again, because honestly speaking, I'm actually kind of tempted to do one of those bloodline things to see if I actually have any native blood in me, because the truth is, the natives out here in Canada, they have it pretty damn good. They don't get taxed on anything. Our police cannot even go on their reserves, yet we can go there. We can go there and shop. Out here, say for instance, I'm just going to use the vape industry as an example. There's a lot of restrictions out here. In the province I'm in, there's a flavor ban. You can have 20 milligrams of nicotine maximum anywhere across the country. Yet you go to the native reserves and you can get any flavor you want. You can get higher nicotine strengths, and there's nothing that the federal government can do about it. The natives out here, they make a ton of money. And for them, it's like law of the jungle. Also, when they leave the reservation, they want to go like one of the shopping centers or anything that's off of the reservation, they don't pay tax there either. It seems to me like, honestly speaking, they have a much sweeter deal than those of us that apparently stole their land. I don't know if that's how it is out there for you guys as well. If that's how your native reservations work. If it's the same thing like with no taxes and like your local police cannot go out there. And you guys let me know in the comments below if that's the case. But as it stands out here, I would literally trade spots with them if I could. Okay, now on to her virtue signaling. Honestly speaking, do they not see how hypocritical they are? Can we just deduct 10 years out of history? I know I mentioned this quite a bit, but go back 10 years when Barack Obama was running the show. They had no issues at all with him deporting people. They had no issues at all with Bill Clinton deporting people. They would have no issues at all, even if it was Donald Trump deporting people, if he ran as a Democrat. Remember, everybody loved the guy until he came down the golden escalators and stated that he's running for president as a Republican. Now, if Donald Trump never ran for president and we had a different Republican president right now, I don't think it would be an issue there either. It's just something about the combination of Donald Trump, Republican, put them together, kaboom. The door came right off the hinges and it never went back on. And these people are exposed now. No matter what it is, Donald Trump can cure cancer tomorrow and fund it out of his own pocket, and they would still bitch and complain about it. They are so busy and so set in their ways. They're mentally programmed, and they've done this to each other at this point. I know the mainstream media started it, but these guys sure have finished it off. Because truth is, if you look at it, the Democrat Party kind of backed off a little bit. They still want to say their things and act big and bad. The mainstream media still wants to get in their shots, but they're not pushing the narrative as hard as the public is now. They are so set in their ways that they can't even see clearly about what's really going on here. Despite the fact that there's been some horrific crimes committed by some of these illegal migrants, these guys just kind of don't care. They just kind of, they won't say they don't care. They're just gonna kind of never talk about it and act like that kind of never happened and just focus forward. They got tunnel vision. And we're at that point what I was talking about the other night, and several of you actually left me the answer in the comments. I should have just thought of the movie, right? Event Horizon was a good movie. But we're at that event horizon in society right now where I don't think there is any turning back. I think the gap, the division is so deep, racially, politically, ideologically, it's just so divided right now that common sense will never meet these people again. And the truth is, these people will hate common sense for the rest of their lives, although they believe that they're the party of common sense. I don't know, maybe it's one of those things. It's like, say if your house is really messy and you have to clean it. Sometimes you have to make the mess worse in order to clean it. Or like in sobriety, you have to hit a rock bottom before you finally sober up. Maybe that's what we have to hit in society. Maybe we actually need to hit a much lower rock bottom before we can actually unite back together. Because as it stands right now, I don't see either party leaning any closer towards each other. I see the right more willing to. They claim, the left claims that they're the ones who want unity between us. They claim that they tried to warn everybody about Donald Trump and that they tried to help us. But as soon as you disagree with any little portion of their narrative, they show you their true colors and they show you their true hatred. And the hatred is literally just towards us on the right. They love all other cultures all across the world. And there's nothing wrong with loving other cultures, but they just don't like conservatism.
We seeing a theme yet? Notice how he keeps repeating insurrectionists over and over and over again? Yeah, Hitler did that. This is how he gets his base to believe anything he says. Just repeat it over and over again, and eventually it just uses osmosis and bleeds itself into their brain. So, absolutely, these people are protesters, and if you are watching like I am, as you can see in that top corner of live feed, they are protesting. They aren't taking over government buildings. They have made no threats to take anything over. So, again, these aren't insurrectionists, they are protesters. But those insurrectionists at the Capitol building, it is becoming very clear that those were actually insurrectionists, because they were trying to stop the vote. They were trying to hang Mike Pence. Is he telling on himself? I think he's telling on himself.
If y'all don't care that Trump's a felon, then I don't care if a motherfucker illegal. I'ma stand behind him every step of the way, bitch.
I have a genius idea about immigration. Hear me out. I'm going to open a hamburger shop. It's only going to sell burgers and fries. That's it. One item. But it's going to have two prices. If your hamburger was made by an immigrant, it'll cost you $10. If the same hamburger was made by somebody who was born in the US, it'll cost you $22. I wonder how many $22 hamburgers I would sell then.
It's a crime to come here illegally. Yeah, well, it's also a crime to drink and drive, but y'all keep racking up those DUIs.
You know, pretty much any time a protest turns into a riot, it is generally started by the police. That's what happened in Seattle. Black Lives Matter. It's happening again, and they will only show you footage of while the protesters are being violent because they don't want to show you how it started, because they always incite the violence. They're not going to show you how it started. They're going to show you all the crazy shit that happened afterwards so that you blame protesters for defending themselves. They've done this over and over and over and over again. Do not fall for the mainstream media depiction of protesters.
You don't get to talk about what's illegal when you voted for a felon. You don't get to talk about what's illegal when you voted for a felon. You don't get to talk about what's illegal when you voted for a felon. You voted for a felon, a convicted felon. Felon. You're fine with illegal as long as it hurts the people you hate.
I want to make something very clear. If you make a joke about the protests in LA, the fact that people in LA are standing up against ICE, against the Trump regime, against fascism, against the kind of Nazi-era tactics that the Gestapo would do back in the 30s and 40s of Germany. If you make fun of that, if you make light of that, you're part of the problem. I had to unfollow someone who's an aspiring actor, and they made a joke, just kind of, oh, it's another day in LA kind of thing. I was disgusted by it. I unfollowed them. I'm not going to name names. I'm not interested in having a spat with anybody. I'm just telling you this because I don't accept jokes at the expense of people losing their livelihoods and their lives.
Okay, I would suggest, because you liberals love to use these buzzwords, Nazi, fascism, regime, Gestapo. I would really suggest, because you guys are the educated ones, right? And you guys always tell us, hey, maybe pick up a book sometime. You guys should maybe pick up a book sometime, a good history book, and really look at the difference between the Nazi era and how Nazis actually were and what actually took place back then and what Hitler actually had done compared to Donald Trump. You guys are not living in any form of a dictatorship because, again, if you guys need the proof, you guys get online every day and say, you know what, is somebody going to do it? I'm getting tired of waiting. I'd like to get back to my normal life, the life that I think I deserve. So can somebody please do it? You think anybody could have done that in Nazi Germany? I mean, if the internet existed back then, do you think anybody could have actually sat there and even muttered the words and whispered it about Hitler? Better yet, in current day, do you think anybody can actually say that about Zelensky in Ukraine? You guys truly have no idea what a dictatorship is, and truth is, neither do I, because none of us have ever lived in one. However, there is some foreigners that live in your country, maybe people that are American citizens that migrated there years ago from other countries, that can actually tell you what a dictatorship is. And that's why they migrated to your country, and that's why they migrated to my country. But the thing is, these people did it properly. And another reminder to you liberals out there, although I know I'm wasting my breath, people even pointed out in the comments like, Mark, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time trying to speak to these people? Hey, if I can even just get one of them guys, just one, to even actually wake up, then, it's kind of worth it. But as I was saying about my reminder, do you guys honestly think that you can go to any other place in the world, anywhere else in the world, and do what they have done? Do you think you could step foot in any other country and say, you know what? Kind of like it here. I'm not going back home. I'm just going to stay in. I'm not even going to fill in no papers. I'm not going to claim no asylum. I'm just going to stay here. And yeah, I'm going to deliver some pizzas, drive an Uber, make some money under the table. And you know what? I don't got to worry about a thing, because if they ever catch me and they're going to try and send me back, don't got to worry about it, because the citizens here, they're going to protect me. Do you guys honestly think that that fantasy exists in any other country? Do you think it existed in any other country before the year 2021? Because I'll tell you now, in 2020 and before, that didn't exist. There's never been a president that said, hey, when I'm in power, everybody make their way to my country because I'm leaving the front door wide open. And that's exactly what Joe Biden did. He put out an announcement that everybody come now, claim asylum. And you know what? When you get here, I'm going to give you even more money than my citizens. And tell you what, even better, the darker your skin is, the easier things are going to be here for you, because we're going to run DEI programs. And we're going to give you more money based on that. And now me saying it this way, this actually sounds kind of crazy, right? If I said this to anybody 10 years ago, they would look at me and say, what the hell is wrong with this guy? This guy's like lost it. He's a loon job. But no, you guys had an administration that had this mentality. And you guys all thought this was okay. Even now that that administration's gone, you guys want to keep that frame of thought around. But the bad news out there for you guys, the woke liberals, is well more than half of your country wants nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with skin color, guys. It really doesn't. It's truly only the far left liberals that actually, it's almost like a fetish. They have this thing when it comes to people that have any other skin color but them, and I'm speaking about the white liberals, and transgenderism. The world is really flipped upside down out there. And when I say out there, I mean on the left. It doesn't matter what landmass you're on. It's the same mentality to any government or any society that's left-leaning now. They all have this same crazy ideology. But either way, I'm getting myself sidetracked again. You guys need to pick up history books, look up what, the Nazis were actually doing. And once you pick up those history books and actually read them from cover to cover, you can actually even go through AI to even go through it quicker. It'll prove to you, even though you'll be in denial about it, it'll prove to you that you're not living under fascism, you're not living under a dictatorship. You actually have a president that cares about your country first. There's nothing wrong with that. That's like saying your next door neighbor's kids, that you care more about them than you care about your own children. Isn't that messed up? Now, on a much larger scale, that's what you liberals are doing. You guys actually care more about people that don't live in your country than you do about your own neighbors. That's sick. But the sicker part about it is you believe that people on the right are sick. So this guy here, he's attempting to virtue signal here, right? And he's actually trying to show that we should all feel sympathetic for the residents of LA. Nobody told them to leave their house. I mean, they're doing it days in a row. This is day number 6. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I haven't watched the news in a few hours, so for all I know, they actually respected that curfew. I just highly doubt that they did. But you're not a victim if you grab your keys, you put on your shoes, you grab a little bandana or something to put on your face, and you head downtown LA right now and decide that you're going to try and light cars on fire and throw rocks at cops. You're not the victim. Pretty sure if this exact same thing happened, let's say between the years of 21 and 24, I'm pretty sure that you guys would actually be calling that domestic terrorism. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what you guys are doing. That's exactly what you guys are condoning right now. Truth is, to all of you liberals out there, I'm going to repeat this as much as I have to. If you do not put your country first, perhaps you should not live there. Speaking for myself as a Canadian citizen, am I happy with what's going on in my country right now? Am I happy with my country's leadership? Am I happy with what just took place in our elections? Not at all. I'm actually pretty pissed off about it. If I can actually trade citizenship with somebody from the United States right now, I probably would. But until then, and it will remain this way as long as my feet are in Canada, as long as I live in Canada, I will always put my country first. I will always pick local Canadians, Canadians far and wide, not even local, over illegal migrants. We have the same issue out here as well, on a much smaller scale, but we have the same issue out here as well. Now, does me picking the wants and needs of other Canadian citizens over migrants, does that make me a bad person? Not at all. If you liberals think it does, I really don't give a shit. But this is the type of attitude that you all have to have. You got to defend your family. You got to defend your house. You got to put your country first. That's it. All right, guys, that's it for me. That's all she wrote for this one. If you guys like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. If not, if you can like the video, share the video, or interact with it in one way or another to help me out with that algorithm, that'll be greatly appreciated. And until then, I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys, and stay safe.
So do you want to know what all this craziness in LA is really about? The riots, the organized protests, and the current chaos unfolding in the sanctuary city known as Los Angeles? Well, it's not organic, and it's definitely not random. It's actually a calculated move by the leftist ruling class to protect the one thing that keeps them in power: census-based political control. You see, House seats and electoral votes aren't based on how many citizens live in a state, just how many people are counted in that state, and that includes illegal aliens. They are counted as well. So when over 10 million plus flood across the border into blue states like New York and California over the last 4 years, it's not about compassion, it's about math. More bodies equals more power in Congress. But now, mass deportations and people fleeing these blue states are threatening that math. For every 740,000 illegal aliens that are deported from a blue state is one congressional seat in 2030. And if that trend continues, the DNC just doesn't lose votes. They lose control, and likely for good. This is why they would burn a city down like LA to stop Trump. This is why we're seeing the panic. Media hysteria to stop deportations, state-level obstruction to protect population counts, protests and riots like we're seeing in LA designed to bait the feds and flip the narrative. This was never about human rights or compassion. They don't care about you. They don't care about your safety. They only care about control and power. It's political survival, and the census is the real battlefield.